Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. It is Monday, May 6th, and Joe Biden. Good old Joey. The geriatric, the puppet, the child sniffer, the guy that hits a golf ball backwards, falls up a flight of stairs, looks for dead people in the crowd, is conversing with dead people. He's seeing dead people and having full-on conversations with dead people that have been gone for 30, 40 years. This guy's doing some M. Night Shyamalan, Bruce Willis shit, folks. He's clairvoyant, psychic. He's so dead. He's so far off his rocker. He's so far gone that he's now dipping a foot into other realms, the spiritual realm. That's how dead Joe Biden is. Folks, this guy fights with a teleprompter every single day. It's the most insane statistic we have here in all of politics, where he fights with a teleprompter, the teleprompter wins. It's undefeated, folks. For 4 years straight, the teleprompter is undefeated. It's the heavyweight champion of the world. You want to talk about a debate? You don't even have to debate Donald Trump for Joe Biden to lose. Hell, he just has to debate his teleprompter. Folks, he's the worst. Holy Lord, he is the worst president in American history. Patriots, it's great to be back with this fine Monday morning. And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for y'all today. And while I was doing a little bit of show prep, I stumbled across this gem of a video with Patrick Bet David giving us a behind-the-scenes look at who Barron Trump, Donald Trump's son, really is. The man is now 18. The left want to go after him. The Democrat Party thinks Barron Trump is fair game. Here's what Patrick Bet David has to say about Donald Trump's youngest son. Let's roll.
Yesterday, we're with Barron Trump. Barron's a very interesting guy, the son of Donald Trump, 6'7", 6'8". We're doing a podcast with Ryan Garcia. He stays there and he walks. He says, let me walk you to your car. The son of a billionaire who's a president says, let me walk you to your car. He's working customer service. He walks us to our car and he's standing there until we get in the car to leave. He says, look, no matter what I do, no matter what my brothers do, no matter how much money we make, our success will never come close to what our father had to do, because he really had the hard life, not us. We have an easy life. He just turned 18. Are you kidding me? Like, what a freaking stud of a kid to say something like that, right?
Folks, I mean, it is night and day between Donald Trump's sons and Joe Biden's son. Donald Trump's sons work, they grind, they're respectable, they're intelligent, they don't break the law. Hell, we know that because of the entire governmental apparatus, intelligence agencies and all, going as far as to dig through Melania Trump's underwear drawer. I mean, they've looked everywhere for any sort of misbehavior from the Trump family and haven't found anything. All the while, we have pictures of Joe Biden's son snorting crack cocaine off a dog's ass. Okay, nothing's been done there. I mean, he is taking naps with crack pipes in his mouth. Videotape of him doing things illegal. It's wild, but there's a big difference between the Trump family and the Biden family. Trump family, massive business, massive empires, been in business their entire lives with real estate and other investment opportunities, making millions, billions of dollars. Makes sense. Joe Biden somehow became wealthy off of doing nothing. It's remarkable. Somehow they're just multimillionaires, just all this money fumbling in from Romania, Ukraine, China. Yeah, no, can't name a single business venture that they actually are knowledgeable about. Just somehow they're getting millions of dollars in. But don't worry, yeah, it's Donald Trump's family that's corrupt, not the Biden family. No. I thought you'd enjoy that. It's always nice to see a little bit of behind the scenes of Donald Trump. Usually to get that kind of information, you got to read the books, like Sarah Huckabee Sanders' book or Kayleigh McEnany's book, or I mean, you may not like her, but still a great book nonetheless. Nikki Haley's book, the former UN ambassador to Donald Trump. So nice things to see and being said about Barron Trump, who quite possibly might be the next president in the future, folks. Well, we're moving into our news of the day. A lot of updates, a lot of random news, but we got Elise Stephania ripping into the Democrat Party here regarding these pro-Hamas riots. And you're damn right, we got videotape of it in just one moment. House Republican Conference Chairwoman. I mean, she is feisty, folks. This woman is spicy, and I freaking love it. She's coming from New York. That's where Trump's from. See, a lot of these lefties and these progressives, these ones with little pigtails in, they get all upset the way that New Yorkers just tend to talk. I mean, even Democrat New Yorkers talk a certain way. They're a little rough on the edges, right? Everybody knows that's what you get when you go to the East Coast. That's who they are. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. A little bit of spice never hurt anybody. So you got Elise Stephania here on Sunday, linked the anarchy, great way to put it, of protests that have sprung up on university campuses across the country in response to the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza to the Democratic Party, pitting the chaos on a leadership vacuum that she contended goes all the way back to President Joe Biden. So here she is on Fox News, folks. The wonderful, the beautiful Elise Stephania. Here she is. Let's roll it.
Good to be with you, Maria.
So assess the situation today after we did see a fair amount of cleanup at some colleges over the weekend. And I want to get your take on what you want to see happen in terms of federal funding of college universities.
Well, first of all, Maria, this is a crisis in higher education, and I want to thank our law enforcement officers. You played the clip of the NYPD, but who has failed are the university presidents. Our law enforcement have done the right thing, bringing security back to these college campuses. But our university presidents, whether it's Columbia, whether it's Harvard, Penn, whether it's UCLA, Michigan, Yale, the list goes on, they have failed to protect Jewish students. They have also failed to condemn anti-Semitism. And let's be honest, these pro-Hamas riots, this is Joe Biden's Democrat Party. Joe Biden not only waited 10 days to condemn.
Correct. She is 100% correct. This whole thing, Black Lives Matter, when they took over our cities by burning them to the ground, you look at Antifa, or you look at see what's going on with these protesters, of which we talk all about this in my book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. Copies down below from our website, signed copies. We got Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, all that stuff. You can get it everywhere, folks. We talk about this. She is absolutely correct. This is an outgrowth, at the very least, of the Democrat Party, if not the Democrat Party. Let's let her continue.
He has been silent since last December with that historic hearing where you had 3 Ivy League university presidents fail to condemn the genocide of Jews. Joe Biden waited months to speak out, saying that testimony was unacceptable. He didn't even say that, actually, in his statement, but he gave it lip service. But this is the radicalized far-left Democrat Party that Joe Biden owns today. It is about lawlessness. It is about anarchy. It is attacking our most precious ally, Israel, and it is hurling anti-Semitic slurs against Jewish students, as well as physical harassment, physical assault against Jewish students. So there is a great deal that we are doing in Congress in our oversight. And our legislative solutions will consist of pulling back federal funding, addressing the foreign dollars that are flowing into these institutions, and holding these schools accountable.
Why haven't the Democrats been more aggressive on this? Chuck Schumer in the Senate, the highest ranking.
Because it's their voters. Layup of a question, folks. It's their voters. It's their base. That's why they're not being harsh on it.
A Jewish person in Congress hasn't said enough, in my view. It feels like they're afraid to offend their own base. And Joe Biden, he said, the first thing he said was, those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians, I also condemn that, whatever that means.
Exactly. This is Joe Biden's Democrat Party today, the pro-Hamas rioters on college campuses, the anarchists. And that's why you're seeing trepidation among Democrats from speaking out, because this is their base. And the reality is this is why Republicans continue to poll stronger and stronger, because we represent peace and security. We represent standing up for the Constitution. We represent supporting our ally of Israel, and we strongly condemn anti-Semitism. There is a reason that House Republicans have led on this, and it's because there has been a void at our universities. There is a void at the White House, starting with the top of Joe Biden, and there's been a void in Democrat leadership, including Chuck Schumer, which
There's a bunch of nut jobs protesting at their graduation, ruin it for everybody else and their family members that are there. Look, she's completely correct. I mean, this is the Democrat Party. It's always been the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has always been the party predominantly that focuses on things that are either evil or negative. The Ku Klux Klan, slavery, Hamas, funding terrorist organizations, funding like countries that are literally the top sponsor of terrorism like Iran. It's always one party. Do you notice that? I'm not saying Republicans are perfect. We have our own ish to follow, like, for example, blowing out our own budgets. But the main thing here that I'm always hounding, homeless crisis, Democrats' fault. Massive invasion at the southern border, Democrats' fault. Crime going through the roof in Democrat-ran cities, Democrats' fault. Allowing these protesters to violently attack students, stopping them from getting a service of which they paid for, breaking into buildings, breaking property, Democrats' fault. These people that were running roughshod over our cities for 4+ years, burning them to the ground, all the while the media were rubbing the shoulders of the Democrat Party and their gross-ass feet, saying, oh, it's mostly peaceful while there's buildings burning behind them, Democrats' fault. All the media apparatus that's pushing forward a narrative that's completely false, lying to all of you, Democrats' fault. Higher education falling apart, which is an outgrowth from the K through 12 education falling apart that's being basically ran and getting roughshod over by these progressive lefts as an outgrowth of the Democrat Party is the Democrat Party's fault. It's a theme, folks. It's all a theme here, which is astonishing. And we'll get to it because it seems like some Democrats are waking up to the fact going, oh, shit. Wait a minute. This is crazy, and I used to support this. We'll get to in just one moment, folks. But that was Elise Stephania, absolute beautiful woman, congressman, actually standing up for what American values are, which is the right to protest, but not be violent and support terrorist organizations. Well, speaking of the Gaza and Israel whole ordeal, we got some news here from the Biden administration putting on hold ammunition shipment to Israel. And Israel's looking around going, what the hell just happened? Like, what's going on here? So the Biden administration put on hold a shipment of U.S. manufactured ammunition to Israel for the first time since the deadly attack on October 7th. Well, Israel, you guys, they're like scratching their heads. They can't figure out what the hell's going on. 2 Israel officials told Axios that the weapons shipment was stopped last week, leaving officials within the Israeli government scrambling to understand why. But we're told on the White House podium by John Kirby, Karine Jean-Pierre, and others like Jake Sullivan, well, we're in constant communication. Joe Biden knows everything that's going on around the world. We're constantly keeping him up to date on everything. Really? Oh, we're always talking to our Israeli counterparts, our allies. They know what's going on. Then why are multiple people in the Israeli government scratching their heads going, what the hell's going on? I thought you had our backs. So when asked about the report, the White House National Security Council said this, that it has supported Israel's defense since October 7th attack. Not answering the question. Remember, it's really remarkable. This administration goes, on the first day of taking over office, we're going to be the most transparent administration you've ever seen in your entire life. We're going to take everybody's questions. We're going to be so transparent. You're going to see right through the looking glass, whatever the hell that means. They're being the least transparent administration, at least in my life, and that's for damn sure. The United States has surged billions of dollars in security assistance to Israel since October 7th attacks. Passed the largest ever supplemental appropriation for emergency assistance to Israel, led an unprecedented coalition to defend Israel against Iranian attacks, and will continue to do what is necessary to ensure Israel can defend itself from the threats it faces. So the White House is just being dark on this. Nobody has a clue. Like the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, has no idea. And so he's like, well, screw it. We're still going to have to run this whole ordeal ourselves, whether the U.S. backs us or not. But Joe Biden's probably sleeping. They probably couldn't get the go-ahead because Joe Biden was taking a nice little nap. And he drank too much of warm milk before he fell asleep. So his nap's extra long this go around. Well, speaking of Joe Biden having his nap and doing insane, stupid crap, you have him canceling people's student debt, just completely violating the law, not even caring whatsoever. So here's a post that was reposted by a bunch of people, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, others. And End Wokeness here got a screenshot of this guy's basically $20,000 student loan just being evaporated. And by evaporated, I mean you're paying for it. So all those people didn't go to college themselves, like blue-collar workers and such, yes, you're paying for somebody else's college now. Some grown-ass adult that can't pay off their own college, of which is a loan that they took out. You didn't sign for them. You're not a co-signer. All of a sudden, we're co-signing everybody's loans, you guys. Didn't you see it? Didn't you know that? Oh, yeah. No. No, you're co-signing everybody's damn loan now. So this guy's loan just got evaporated, and Biden is literally stealing money to give liberal votes. That's what he's doing. He's paying for votes at the end of the day. It is truly a remarkable thing. All those people you see on college campuses supporting Hamas, asking for the genocide of Jews, all the while they're complaining about the genocide of the Palestinians. Let that one sink in. These are the people that you're forgiving your debts. The people that don't like America, that are stepping on the American flag, tearing down the American flag to put up Palestinian flags. The same people that sit there and are waving Ukrainian flags in the House of Representatives, all this crazy crap. You're paying for it. Isn't that wild? Isn't that insane? Holy crap. Well, people are waking up to this, you guys. Finally, some people, I'm not saying they're fully there yet, but we got Bill Maher here criticizing student loan forgiveness for Jew-hating protesters. And we got a clip here to show you. So comedian Bill Maher, who sometimes has his head on straight, believe it or not, when he's not high or smoking pot or whatever the hell he's doing, criticized President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness for Jew-hating college protesters Friday on Real Time with Bill Maher. Now, if you recall, Biden announced $7.4 billion in student loan cancellation for 277,000 Americans in April. Folks, this was already deemed unconstitutional. The Supreme Court already said it's an overreach of the executive branch. You can't do it. But he's still going to try to push it through. So here's Bill Maher making a great point on his show just the other day. Let's go ahead and roll it.
When I read about the college loans,
Yes.
you know, I mean, I can't. Where's the stat on this? Oh, Biden administration's student debt cancellation will cost a combined $870 billion to $1.4 trillion. That's a lot of debt
so
forgiveness. Okay, so colleges constantly raise tuition. Then the kids take out more.
1.4 trillion, but don't worry, you guys, they're not going to raise taxes on you. If you haven't seen our tax video that we did over the weekend, you need to go check it out. If you guys want me to break it down, all of you know that I used to be a tax accountant. If you want me to break down the changes that are coming your way and how you're going to end up owing, if not 1,000 to thousands more, if Donald Trump's reelected, I will break all that down for you, folks. I got no qualms doing it. It's going to be a long video. We're going to need about 45 minutes to an hour to do it because there's so many changes that is taking place that are going to hurt you. It's insane. I've never done a Democrat's taxes and had them look at me and go, hey, can I owe more money to the government, even though they vote in people that want to increase their taxes? Here we go, though.
More loans. Then the government comes by and pays those loans. Okay, so my tax dollars are supporting this Jew hating?
No,
Correct.
you
I don't
fought
think
all the
so.
tents. No, I agree with you completely. Now
Yeah.
people are really upset. By the way, it was never fair. You can't have plumbers and pipe fitters paying for the student loans of doctors and lawyers. It's not fair. And I'm all for the government trying to help people who need it, but he did that as a political play, and everybody knows it. He's bleeding
and it
young
hasn't
people's
worked.
support.
It hasn't worked. If you look at issues that young people care about, Gaza is like 15th out of 16th, and the only thing that comes in lower than Gaza is student loan forgiveness. So it hasn't worked as a motivator for the youth vote, you know, half of which are out there chanting Genocide Joe. So it's backfired, not just in terms of public policy, but in terms of the politics, too.
Both of them. I mean, everybody in that panel is absolutely correct. It seems like people are waking up to this. That's the great thing about allowing free speech to thrive, allowing Twitter to do its real damn job of just letting free speech and video to thrive so you can actually see what's going on around the world, which I think is in part of why Joe Biden's doing so poorly, is because finally you have somebody that is a free speech advocate named Elon Musk allowing the internet to thrive and get information out there to viewers, other than what you're seeing on YouTube by shadow banning channels like mine from growing. You have here student loan debt cancellation. You guys, they're canceling people's debt whose majors like lesbian dance theory or underwater basket weaving does nothing for society. You did not co-sign somebody else's loan. And I've always asked this question, why are we stopping at student loans? It's an odd one, right? Like, why are you not going after auto loans or mortgage or credit cards? Like, why are we just doing student loan debt forgiveness? It's a very weird thing. You want to know why? Because the second you open this doorway, you open up the doorway for all the others. Well, it's not equal. There's racism involved. You know, racism was what somebody did when they forced somebody to sign that loan. They forced somebody to go down to the bank or whatever institution's offering them that loan and force them to sign it. They were forced to go to a $100,000 college. They were forced to do all these things. No, they weren't. It was out of their own free will. They did it themselves. It sucks that they made a bad decision, but welcome to the real world. When you make poor decisions, there's consequences that go with those decisions. But when you want to remove those consequences because some of the other like equality bullshit, then now all of us have to pay the price for it. So I hope you enjoy paying people's debts. It's not going to stop as long as Democrats are in office because they're nut jobs. They're idiots. They don't know how to run government, which is why they're going to spend $1.4 trillion canceling somebody else's student loans. Unbelievable crap. So somebody else that's kind of woken up here a little bit is Michael Rapaport. I think that's how you say his name. So he's getting his show canceled now. And quite frankly, I don't feel bad for this guy. This guy ran his mouth for years. Anti-Trump, super woke lib, finally waking up, which thank God, hey, welcome to being red-pilled, I guess. Welcome to what we've been bitching about, all the while you've been complaining about Donald Trump and everything else. Now you're realizing the repercussions of your vote. Now you're realizing all that insane stuff that you were pushing forward is now coming around to bite you in the ass because now your show's canceled because you go to, well, now I'm speaking up for the Jews, and all of a sudden when I start speaking truth, people are coming at me. Yes, you knucklehead. Yes. Again, I'm hounding you because I was tired of you spewing this garbage for years that we all had to listen to because you have these woke babies while under Donald Trump taking to the streets complaining he's racist, he's xenophobe, he's a bigot, look what he's doing, he's not allowing this, he's doing that. Everything that you guys sat there, now you're realizing the repercussions of your actions. It's a common theme. It is really a common theme here. So Rapaport, a Jewish man, has been a vocal supporter of Israel and has heavily criticized pro-Palestine activists. So you're telling me the Democrat Party, again, all this is the Democrat Party that are pro-Palestine, right, that are pro-Hamas. Joe Biden's giving $10 billion to Iran, which is the leading sponsor of terror across the world. And by the way, Obama gave them $1 billion cash. You're telling me that all of a sudden the people that you were once in bed with, the Democrat Party, all of a sudden kicking your ass because you're pro-Israel? Welcome. So the Comedy on State, a comedy club near UW-Madison pro-Hamas camp, has canceled tonight's sold-out show to protect the safety and well-being of everyone involved. Why? Whoa. I was told that this is all fine and dandy. They're just using their free speech to peacefully protest. Well, if they're peacefully protesting, what type of violence would there be? That's weird. Real weird, huh? It's almost as if we're being lied to by the Democrat Party. It's almost being lied to by like Maxine Waters, AOC, Chuck Schumer, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, all these nut jobs in the Democrat Party. It's almost as if they lie to us every day, that, the same people that this guy supported for years. Really weird. It's funny how that kind of works out, huh? Real funny. I love comedy, by the way. I think comedy should be able to thrive. But, when you have the left, like these nut jobs in Hollywood, they're going to drive everybody out. And that's why Joe Rogan moved a comedy club, or created a comedy club, I think it's called the Mothership, in Texas, where all the comedians went, because people in Texas get it. So here's his whole spiel here on complaining about, they're canceling a show. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. I got to let it go, blah, blah.
I didn't think that it would get to a point where my beliefs and me standing up for what I know is right regarding Jews, regarding Israel, regarding being Jewish, and just the right thing would get to a point where a club would cancel my show because they're afraid of an incident happening.
You want to know how astonishing this is? This has been taking place for a decade, and he's just waking up going, when you speak the truth, all of a sudden they're going to cancel one of my shows for freaking speaking the truth. You mean when like everybody else that was a conservative tried to go on any sort of college campus, it was shut down because people didn't like the things that they said or did? Really? When conservatives were standing up for your right to free speech, man, all the while they were trying to shut it down by, for example, shutting down the event itself. Really? Now you're just waking up to all this? Or how they won't publish our books, which I've talked about even for my own damn book, on how a major publisher would not sit there and take a hold of this because it went against their narrative and their viewpoint. So I had to spend thousands of dollars doing it the other route. Really? Now you're just waking up to this? Now you're just kind of getting it? Some people, it takes a while, I guess.
Yet here we are. And I'm embarrassed about it. And I'm not embarrassed because it happened to me. I'm embarrassed because I am speaking out on behalf of Jewish people, speaking out on behalf of the hostages, speaking out on behalf of what I know is right, just like I spoke out on behalf of what I know was right about abortion, LGBTQ, fucking Black Lives.
I told you this guy's off his rockers. Okay, sometimes the wires click, but then they're not fused together. Like he's going off about killing people, the LGBTQ community, Black Lives Matter, which burned down our cities. Where'd they go? Oh, wait, they sat there and, I don't know, just had millions of dollars disappear.
Matter and everything. I've talked and supported everybody. Yet the reality is right now we're like by ourselves.
You can tell it's just like some things click, some things don't. Now he's trying to kind of realize, man, this is a guy that like had Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm not saying his wires still aren't crisscrossed because they clearly are. And I hope that he can come to our side and come to his senses on things. But allegedly he's going to vote for Trump or something like that from what I hear. But it's just astonishing. I supported everybody. I'm speaking truth. Yes, bro, I side with you on the whole Jewish thing. Completely agree. Wild, insane. But also have to agree the fact that you're wild and insane for always like, I'm supporting everybody. Everybody's right. The Republicans are bigots. Look, Republicans don't care about the LGBTQ community. Just leave us alone. Stop shoving it down our throats. Black Lives Matter. Yes, we've all agreed. And you walked up to a Republican, hey man, do you think a black person's life matters? They're going to say, yes, of course. All lives matter. Everybody's life matters. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. If you're talking to a conservative Republican based on our founding ideals that were enshrined in the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution, obviously we're going to side with it. It's wild. I know it's wild to all of you, but it's amazing how some people are having this awakening moment. Like, it's taken them 10, 15 years to get there. And I'm telling you, 40 plus, probably 70 million people still aren't there yet. I'm not saying Democrats are wrong about everything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they've gone so far left that there's certain things that you just can't wrap your head around. Allowing millions of people to pour across your border when you don't know who they are, especially when countries have been outspoken of saying, hey, we're just going to use that as a funnel there to commit some sort of terrorist act on you guys. Like what Hamas said, or the Houthis, the Iranians, China allowing spies, Russia allowing spies. They've all been vocal about it. Like, that's fine. Yeah, we're just going to use it as a funnel. Oh, by the way, it's a nice funnel to allow in fentanyl from China to flow through your borders and just kill millions of people in a span of like 10 years. No, that's fine. Yeah, you just continue to allow it to happen. So there's things where I just can't rationalize or like come to terms with where's the thinking at. And that's why I say their head's not working. And then they're going to vote for Joe Biden. And really, it comes down to a lot of astonishing things. And again, the tax thing's the easy one, right? Because the Democrat Party, just like one of their basic principles of their party is that they want bigger government. And I've always said, none of my friends that are still in tax accounting, when I was in tax accounting, have we ever seen a Democrat come into office going, I want to make sure that I could possibly owe as much money to the federal government. Even though they owe me a refund, go ahead and let them keep it. Never seen it happen. Never seen it happen. Even though these idiots always vote in for higher taxes, but they complain about taxes too high. I don't have enough money in my pocket. Things are too expensive. Really, aren't you the same people that wanted to allow people to scoop food, cooked food onto a plate for $20 an hour? Weren't you that person that you realized that half your hours got cut or you lost your job altogether, or the fast food company wants to sit there and allow animatronics to run the show, or just AI in general, and now you're bitching and complaining because you lost your job because you wanted more money, and now you're just realizing that's how things freaking work? It's amazing when they finally connect, like the wires go, oh shit, Donald Trump's going, not Donald Trump, well, Donald Trump's going to keep your taxes low, Joe Biden's going to increase your taxes. I don't want to owe any money, but I'm going to vote for higher taxes. You freaking idiots. Not everybody, but a lot of them. Now, speaking of cancellation and all these things, the Democrat Party having an outgrowth, Utah school approved trans flag to protest Michael Knowles. But here's the thing. They said they couldn't approve American flags. Let it sink in. This is how crazy the education system is. This is how crazy the school system has gotten from K all the way to higher education. So when Daily Wire host Michael Knowles spoke last month at the University of Utah, he was met with a host of leftist protesters and university-approved transgender flags filling the building he was speaking in, a demonstration that was in part supported by the school faculty. Shocker. The protest took place as Knowles, who had been brought to campus by Young America's Foundation, gave a speech on the problems with transgender ideology on April 8th at the university. At the same time, Philip Osteen, the dean of Utah's College of Social Work, reportedly extended the school's pride celebration so it can coincide with Knowles' speech and approved for transgender and LGBT flags and banners to fill the building Knowles was set to speak in. Osteen, the dean of the building where Knowles spoke, approved the transgender demonstration, specifically with the flag, but said he couldn't give the go-ahead for students to put up American flags. Now, if we had to guess, do you think Philip Osteen, again, the College of Social Work dean, do you think this guy votes Democrat or Republican? Because it's a common theme. Oh, it's a common theme where the Democrats think the flag is racist. They think the flag is misogyny. It's the patriarchy. It's colonialism. It's imperialism. It's all these things, right? They don't like the American flag. They think it's icky. They don't like America. It's an outgrowth of a specific party. And you know what these idiots, they go, these progressives, woke snowflakes, whatever you want to call them. Well, the Republican Party has a bunch of racists. No, we don't. No, you could say all you want that those guys that are sitting there still pushing the racism crap, like the small, like 0.0000001% of the American population is probably smaller than that. They are not Republicans. They can claim to be all they want. They can blame, oh, we're right wingers. They can claim that all they want, but it does not represent the values of any right. That's the wild thing. And these idiots think that they're all about history and they know everything, right? Well, what was it, the Nazis in World War II, right wingers? Yes, they were. They were flip-flopped. You don't look at the title, you look at the ideology. The left in Europe was considered the conservative Republican Party kind of in America versus the right in Europe, the Nazis, would be considered the left here in America, the progressive left. But I'm telling you, the wires, like, they're just, it's really funky how it's like just all tangled and they can't untangle it and just wrap around the head of, you can name it whatever you want, but if it doesn't carry the ideology and the philosophy of it, doesn't matter what you call it. You can put lipstick on a pig, right? Yeah, that whole saying. So it's wild that they can't connect the dots. Why all of us are sitting here. You guys are all intelligent. You get it. I'm just preaching just normal basic stuff that any American could look at going, yeah, that makes sense. Huh, weird. Why in God's green earth would you not allow the American flag to fly in America? Democrats don't like it. Some of them do. It would make more sense to me, like logically, that you would vote probably independent and no longer be part of the Democrat Party because you've gone so far left, like so far left. I get like the old school, like RFK type Democrats. That actually makes sense to me still, right? Because if you looked at like JFK speaking back in the day, or you looked even at Clinton in the 90s and listened to what they said, you guys, you can go as far as listening to Barack Obama when he's a senator and also his campaign. Sounds closer to old school Democrats than Democrats do today. When you have Democrats that would rather fly somebody else's flag, like the Ukrainian flag, and the House floor than the American flags, there's problems. When you have representatives in Congress that are going for socialism, wearing the Ukrainian flag pin on their chest rather than the American flag, when you have a bunch of people in the American education system that don't even stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, don't even know a damn thing that there's 50 states, when you have all these things taking place, it's not Republican, it's not a conservative thing, no. It's inherently a Democrat Party thing. There is a theme, and the theme will go on. Now, part of that theme of trying to change the culture by having outgrowths of the Democrat Party hating America, there's a certain party, the Republican Party, that wants to band everybody together again, assimilate with a same value and culture creed here, like the Declaration of Independence, like the Constitution, like the value system we grew up in. And when you have a massive amount of invasion and illegal immigration taking place at our southern border, you're not allowing that process to actually take place where people need to elect to assimilate into your culture, into your creed. So one of the remedies of that, which we talked about for about a minute and a half yesterday, was Donald Trump's plan to deport nearly 20 million illegal migrants from the U.S. Now, I'm not going to rehash all this out. We did a minute and a half video that put it into 3 bullet points. 2 of them was Donald Trump's going to need to utilize our military, the National Guard, and local law enforcement to be able to do this. This is an operation that's never been conducted. The biggest one was 1 million migrants in about 1954 under Eisenhower's operation called Operation Wetback. You also have Donald Trump doing something unprecedented by possibly expanding ICE, which is kind of interesting because Republicans tend to want smaller government. But if you're going to expand ICE, you're basically expanding, I believe, the executive branch, making that even bigger. And that's the only way to do it. So part of that's going to be signing new contracts. You're going to need more officers, boots on the ground. You're going to need more vetting. There's a lot of things that go into this to actually make it work. And the last one is to get funding from Congress. And Donald Trump was pulling freaking teeth to get $3 billion for a border wall. Can you imagine him trying to get any funding under Democrats' rule? So we need all 3 branches of government probably to make this work. And I don't know. And I don't even know the optics of that, you guys, having military and police and law enforcement going door to door, removing people from their house and deporting them. I don't know what the American public perception of that is, but I already know the media is going to be like, this is what the Nazis did. This is what those psychos did way back when in history, and just start pinpointing all the historical things they can to make Donald Trump look evil. I want to know what you guys think about this. One, do you think it's feasible? Because it kind of goes contradictory to what we want, right? We don't want bigger government. We wouldn't want this done to us. I get the idea behind it. Trust me. You're talking to some guys. You know me. You've heard my stuff for years. But is it feasible? Especially as a fiscal conservative, you're going to increase the budget. You got to pay for all this. Money just doesn't come out of thin air. I mean, according to Democrats, it does. But not to a fiscal conservative. We're $35 trillion in debt. What are we going to do here? So what do you guys think? Do you think it's feasible? I personally don't think it's going to happen, you guys. I don't think not 20 million. Like five or less. I could see that being realistic, not 20 million. We don't have it in the budget. I don't think it's going to happen. I think even Republicans aren't behind it. I want to know what you guys think, though. I didn't really ask that so much yesterday, but we got a lot of community members in here. We got a lot of patriots, Ball Brad Army that are willing to give an honest answer in the live chat comment section. Try to leave it to me in the comment section, not live chat, because that doesn't transfer over, and I can't see the live chat once the video's done. So if you could put that in the comment section on what you think about Donald Trump's plan here to deport 20 million plus illegal immigrants in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. Well, we got an update. I guess we'll go to this viewpoint. We have, if you recall, I'm sorry to laugh so crazy. So Biden calls Japan, one of our allies, xenophobic last week. And it led to Karine Jean-Pierre having to do like clean up on aisle 5 on Air Force One during a gaggle where she was just getting berated by media reporters asking her, hey, why did he call one of our allies xenophobic? And they're like, well, he didn't do that. He was talking about how we're a country of migrants and how, that's one of our best qualities. And that's not, nothing what she said made sense to anybody. Like nobody there walked out of going, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So he called Japan, but he also called China and Russia xenophobic. So Japan's government says it was unfortunate that President Joe Biden called Japan, a U.S. ally, xenophobic in its remarks last week. During a campaign reception in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, Biden lumped Japan in with adversaries such as Russia and China. Japan's not friends with Russia and China either, folks. This guy woke up one day and chose violence. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. One of the reasons why our country is growing is because of you and many others. Why? Because we welcome migrants. We look to the reason. Look, think about it. Why is China stalling so badly economically? Why is Japan having trouble? Why is Russia? Why is India? Because they're xenophobic. And then Karine Jean-Pierre saying, well, he didn't say that. That's not what he meant. Here's really what he meant. Look, for a guy that's been in politics his entire life, you can't really go that route going, well, that's not what he meant. Let me explain. It makes sense for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not a politician. Donald Trump is still a businessman. Even though he's president, he is not a politician. It makes sense why he riffs, he talks off the cuff, and his words kind of get misconstrued. He wasn't a politician his entire life. He just tells you like it is, and sometimes he doesn't explain himself in the best way. Joe Biden's had his entire life to practice what he's saying, but now you got knucklehead Karine Jean-Pierre, the DEI hire, the affirmative action hire, just trying to clean up. So I'm just going to rehash it here because it's really remarkable. She said, we are aware that the U.S. government has clarified that President Biden's comment was made in context of explaining the U.S. as a nation of immigrants and immigrants that make us stronger, and that his comment was not made with the intent of undermining the importance and permanence of the U.S.-Japan relationship, the embassy said. So forgive me, I thought it was Karine Jean-Pierre saying that. Her comment was just off the charts. It's unfortunate that some of the comments were not based on an accurate understanding of Japan's policies, and we raised this point to the U.S. government, explained Japan's positions and policies once again. Japan did not need to do that, okay? We all know Japan's policies. We know where Japan's at. And, it is true that they're not taking... Look, everybody wants to come here. People aren't, like, flocking to Japan and Korea and Russia and China, even though the Democrat Party is going to say, oh, we're a terrible country, we're racist, we're bigots, we're misogyny, the patriarchy. If that were the case, why does everybody want to come here? If we're such a terrible country, why does everybody want to come here? And it's amazing because even the people that say that about America are still living here because they know it's the best place on earth. The people that sit there and protest these college campuses, the ones that are here on like student visas, still come here for an education, still come here because it's the greatest country on earth, but they'll sit there and bitch and complain. But we know why they don't want to go to we know why they don't want to go home. Come on. We all get it. Well, folks, always love hanging out with you. We got a bunch of merch, description below. If you want to throw your hard-earned money at somebody who actually carries your value system, not like these people that just want their student loan debt forgiveness. I don't have student loans. That's not where my money's going. And that's not where your money would be going if you donate to the show. No, yours goes right back into the show to sit there and push forward our videos to get out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. And maybe get to people like Michael what's his name? Rapaport. Maybe get him some truth because Lord knows you need it. We do have a membership right over here, folks. 99 cents a month. You heard that correctly. Not $9. There is an option for that. 99 cents. That's like 3 cents a day. Hopefully I'm doing that math right. Carry the 1 and 2. 99 cents. You got a $4.99 option, $9.99 option if you want to go crazy. You get to choose. Subscribing is absolutely free, you guys, by the way. If you just want to subscribe and hit that like button, that is all you need to do to watch our show for free. Check it out. We'd love for you to come back. Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below on anything we cover today. Just get your voice out there. If you want to say F Joe Biden, totally get it. Would love it. I'll even like and heart it, all that fun stuff myself. I don't think I have anything else to add. Everything is in the the description below. And folks, we'll be back here tomorrow here on The Bull Brad Show.